Alright, hey guys, it is Indira and welcome to a new video. I thought I would change things up a little bit. I'm doing a little bit of a vlog. I'm actually headed up to Napa with a good friend of mine. But first, I need to pick her up, so let's do that. I'm filming on the Sony ZV-1, so I'm using that the entire trip because I don't want to have to use a huge monstrosity of a camera, and especially a super expensive camera, and I want to see what this thing can do. I know it can do, right now I'm in S-Log and I know that it can do 120 frames per second, so I definitely want to check that out. But yeah, I'm using the ZV-1 and I think it's gonna be pretty good for what I want to accomplish and show you guys this weekend. Yeah. This is my friend Alex, who I'm going to Napa with.
Hi.
Hey. Alright guys, so we made it to Napa. The drive was literally like 4 hours long, but now we're getting that bomb-ass food, and I'm excited. Woo! Good morning, you guys. It is Saturday and this is our first full day here in Napa. We had a rough night, so we're just getting a slow start to the morning right now, but this hotel is pretty nice. There's like a jacuzzi and all that jazz. After this, we're gonna probably get breakfast and be chilling because I'm super hungry.
You have Luis right there.
About to go on a hot air balloon ride, son. Super early in the AM.
So make sure
Oh
you
my
use the
god.
restroom and enjoy.
You guys, it is so early. We finally made it to the hot air balloon place. We literally had to drive like an extra hour.
Well, we didn't. The guys did.
The guys had to drive an extra hour because it was too foggy where we were. But this sunrise is looking so epic. You guys have to see. I'm going to show you in a hot second. Yeah, we had to wake up at like 4. We had to wake up at 4. We left it around like 4:40. Got there at 5, and then it's been like an hour since. Damn, dude, that is so crazy.
This is so cool.
Don't look down now. Oh my god. Hey everyone, it's Indira and welcome to a new video. If you're new here on this channel, I like to do gear reviews, camera reviews, and from time to time, vlogging. So if that's something that you are interested in, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on new videos that come out. So in today's video, we are going to talk about the Sony ZV-1. Now this is the first iteration of this particular series, as there is a new Sony ZV-E10 that just recently came out, and yes, I was able to get my hands on that camera, and a review of that camera is coming out after this video comes out, so stay tuned for that. But I was lucky enough to test out and use the Sony ZV-1 on a trip that I recently went to Napa in Northern California. And the reason why I wanted to test this particular camera out in Napa is that it was very discreet. I could fit it in my purse very easily, and I wanted something that wasn't flashy and heavy and bulky to carry around like my Sony FX3. And also I didn't want it to get stolen because Napa is kind of a touristy area and that could have easily happened. So having the Sony ZV-1 was the perfect option, as it ticked basically all the boxes that I needed as a little travel camera. For example, it's a very compact design, and the lens is a fixed lens, or a lens that you cannot remove. It protrudes out when you turn it on, and then it goes back in when you turn it off. And it's equivalent to a 24mm on the wide end, and that is pretty decent for if you're just hand holding that camera and looking and using it as a little vlogging camera. Or if you want to set it up, you do have the option to digitally zoom in, as it does have a zoom rocker, which is really nice. But it's very compact, very lightweight, and of course it has that beautiful flippy screen. Some things that I really like about this camera is that it comes with S-Log 3. So if you want to match it up to, let's say, my Sony FX3, I could easily do that right in between the little secondary travel camera and then my main video camera. So that's a really nice feature that Sony added in, was S-Log 3 as a profile. Also, when you are recording, it has a outline on the screen, on the LCD screen or the flippy screen, and that is so awesome that they're doing that on their more cheaper end cameras, more entry-level point-and-shoot cameras, because I think, again, tally lights are the future, and it's just so easy to know that you are in fact recording, and I'm so happy that Sony added that to this tiny point and shoot camera. Now you can do 120 frames per second, and I did use that when we were on the hot air balloon ride, and it's pretty decent. You can turn on the steady shot. And speaking of how much you're spending on this camera, the camera body itself without any of the accessories is $699.99, so $700 before tax, and that's pretty decent as a secondary camera. I mean, you can use this as your main vlogging camera, but the only downside to that is that the battery life isn't the best. It does take one of those smaller, more cheaper batteries, but the cool thing is that you can plug it in via USB to USB-C to your camera. If you have a external power bank, then you can easily just charge this camera like in the car, or for example on my purse I would do that. I would just charge it and have the external power bank and camera in my purse and just charge it throughout the day, so I never had a problem with the battery dying. Now, for being a point and shoot camera, it doesn't have as many buttons on it as you would find on, you know, the Sony FX3 for example, but I still found it was easy to go through the menu settings and change settings on the fly. I didn't find that to be a problem at all. Also, this camera does not have a record limit. If you choose to have the ZV-1 as your main vlogging camera or even long format content camera, then you are all set. You can always just have your external power bank plugged into the camera and be running it on that, and you should be fine to be able to film for like hours on end or until your SD card slot fills up. Speaking of SD cards, it does take one SD card, and I recommend getting a at least V60 card, so it does have faster writing speeds, especially for that 120 frames per second. And we do have this camera and the proper SD cards at San Jose Camera, so I will leave the link down below if you want to check it out, and you can always come into the store and check out the camera for yourself. Overall, I had so much fun using this camera in Napa. It did not feel like a chore bringing out this camera, as it was just so easy to take out of my purse and press record. I think if I would have brought the Sony FX3, I would have gotten a little bit overwhelmed and probably wouldn't have filmed as much as I did, as we were walking around doing shopping. We got like massages and like all this stuff. So I think having that small compact design and still having pro features such as S-Log 3 and 120 frames per second for $700 is like insane. Sony does not hold back on their features and they give you what the consumer wants, and I just love them for that reason. So I think the Sony ZV-1, if you are starting into video and you want something that's super compact, then the Sony ZV-1 is perfect for beginners or people who want to get into YouTube content creation. And it's also good for more advanced content creators as a second little B camera. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know what you guys thought. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.